yogis. Today I'm going to introduce 3 stretches for the legs. It'll be down dog with wide legs, hands on blocks so you lift up higher, lower the blocks if you'd like, remove the blocks if you'd like. The second one is called kneeling warrior, and you'll be stretching the front of your thigh. And the third one is a calf and Achilles heel stretch, as well as hamstrings, and then the hip flexor of the other leg. So let's start with the down dog, wide leg. Put your mat next to a wall, 2 blocks. Step your feet wide in your down dog and press your heels into the floor. Take your hands on your blocks, do the medium height so you have lots of distance here. To stretch the spine long, take your arms at least as wide as your shoulders, maybe even a little wider. Rotate the outer arm toward the floor, inner arm up. And then try and move your sit bones back to the wall. Heels are planted on the floor, toes are in a smidge, heels out. You can't see your heels from your vantage point. And take about 10 breaths here. Maybe walk the blocks back so your sit bones touch the wall. Bend your knees as you need to, lift the sit bones up, and then straighten the legs. So it's a wide leg, lifted downward dog. If the blocks feel like they're in your way, maybe lower them a notch. So you're going for 10 breaths here. And if that feels like you don't need them, move the blocks all together. I kind of like it at the medium height. So you're probably on breath 5. Fill out the upper chest as you breathe in, a hint of cat pose in the upper back. And as you breathe out, bring the heart forward towards your thumbs. But keep the shoulder blades wide around your rib cage. Weight the feet evenly, inner and outer foot. Two more breaths here, hugging the arms toward each other, planting the feet, trying to move the heels away from one another. And then walk your hands back, heel toe your feet closer. Step forward, hands to thighs halfway up, and then all the way up. The next one is called kneeling warrior. Use a blanket or a towel, something to cushion the area that the knee is going to be on. And you're going to be on the knee, not on the top of the knee, the kneecap. You're actually going to be a little bit in front. So the pose looks like a low lunge. So your knee is behind your hip. It's much the same as this pose. So knee behind hip, heel toward glute. But there's the foot is against the wall, so there's a lot more pressure, I guess. So come into what I call proposal pose. And move your thigh and your knee, snug it way up to the wall. Have your blocks ready at the highest height. And bring your foot straight ahead, knee over ankle. Lean onto the blocks and turn your back foot all the way up. So you're not up and down on the knee, you're really just in front of the kneecap. This might be plenty right here. See if you can arrange it so your heel is just outside your hip. It's like Virasana, and the top of the foot is on the wall. If you'd like to cushion up the top of the foot, put a washcloth there, or your article of clothing, a shirt, something to pad the foot against the wall. So this might be enough right here. If you're going deeper, hands to thigh. Notice how one hip hikes up. See if you can fix that. Take your, in this case, the right hip down, the left hip up, so it feels even. So you're working further and further back with the chest. Lift the pubis to the navel. Oh, there you go. That'll bring it in. Pubis to navel. And maybe your chest goes back and your pelvis goes back. And again, 10 breaths here, nice and slow. So that's, about a minute and a half. See if you can soften your face, soften the inside of the mouth, relax the shoulders. And again, reset pubis to navel, lift the left hip up. Got about 10 more seconds. And the easiest way to release is to bring your hands down on the blocks or on the floor. It's steadier on the medium height. Take your left knee back to meet the right, and then take the right knee out to the side and wiggle it forward. And then again, come onto the blocks, start to lift up. Notice how this side feels. Wiggle it so knee is over ankle. Maybe you stay here on this side. Maybe you come up a little higher. I have an injury right now, so I'm not going any higher than this. So drop the right hip down, lift the left hip up, pubis to navel. I'm going to stay here on this side. And again, we'll stay for about a minute and a half, about 10 breaths. I'm going to lower down to this so that I nurse the injury. I'm stretching it very mildly so that injured tissue, if you stretch it softly, it will begin to realign into the direction that the muscle tissue is designed to go. So keep working the hips, leveling the hips. Again, the heel is outside the hip. Pad up the foot if you need. So make this tolerable. Make sure that the jaw is soft. There's space inside the mouth. The face is relaxed. The shoulders are relaxed. Pubis to navel is about as much work as you're doing. The rest is a passive stretch. I can feel it's already starting to soften, become a little more pleasant. And then to release, remove the blocks, turn the foot toward the floor, and out you come. The last one is standing splits at the wall. You won't need your blocks and you won't need your blanket. It starts out with a downward dog with your heels at the wall. And you walk your hands back, you lift one leg all the way up, stand on the ball, the foot on the wall, and align your hips, so square your hips, not open to the side. Turn the hips down, lift the left leg up and sink the heel, and maybe this is it for you, maybe this is where you stay. Otherwise, you continue to walk the hands back and the right leg up. So you'll feel a big calf stretch, Achilles stretch, and in the leg that's up the wall, you'll find a stretch along the front of the thigh. So it's like down dog. You're pressing your arms strongly, pressing your chest back towards your leg, squaring the hips to the best of your ability. And then slowly come out. Walk the hands a little bit forward, changing sides, left leg up, stand on the ball of the foot, walk the hands back if that's appropriate. Press your hands, lift your right leg up, and flex the foot so the heel goes all the way to the floor. Take notice of your left hip so it's not out to the side. Turn the hip point down. So press your arms like downward dog. Last breath here. And release the pose. So that's it for your legs. Stretching the thighs, stretching the hamstrings, the calf, and the Achilles. So the more often you do this, the more your body will open, holding for about 10 breaths. All right, see you on your mat. Namaste.